Right, shalom, yeah, shalom. Stuff souls, but give no praise to you about Shemel Shai. Double on supposed GMS and honest two brothers that are doing the work in truth while sincerity. So do a really, really quick one. It's a headline, basically proving what we already know. This is from the Huffington Post. Not the greatest of sources, but it's still a news source and it's a mainstream news source. It basically says hate crimes are terrorism, right? And if you know anything, I know certainly over here we're governed still by EU laws, and the EU terrorism laws are just some of the most vague shit you'll ever come across. So if you've ever protested against the government, that is terrorism, right? If you see what Esau has basically done since 2001, is basically made it so that everyone is, legally speaking, a terrorist in one form or another, right? Which is why over here they're making a big deal about knives, because in London, in England, you don't get guns like in America, right? They've been reluctant thus far to call crimes that white people commit as acts of terrorism, but there's gonna come a day when that changes, and this act here that this geezer's talking about, that was the Edomite that basically killed a couple of people. I don't know too much of the story. It's referring to an Edomite, right? And basically, you know, this is what we already know. And, Esau's going to have a solution for you because he's going to say, well, we don't actually know who can be a terrorist anymore. Right, so we're going to have to give you something. In fact, since I mentioned that, I'm going to have to pull that scripture up. But basically, you see the way this world is going, man. He's sort of pushing this agenda, and you got to give it to him. He's patient. He's slowly building it up, right? Really and truth, the Lord doing that. But you can see that, for those of you that are awake, you can see what's going on. You'll be around, I'm around people that are saying, they have no problem with the government eavesdropping them conversations, this, that, and the other. Yo, man, I'm a hero, man. I want next man, hearing what do you call it, the sweet nothings I'll be saying to my woman. That's no one's business but my own. I don't want them to be activating the camera on my laptop if I'm at home doing what I'm doing. If I've just come out the shower, man, that's off, man. But people believe that this hype and this theory that Esau pushes. Now, so I'm going to go into the word now. So Revelation 12 and 12 says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, deceiver Esau, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he hath but a short time, right? Because Esau knows that, the jig is almost up. You can see that, Jake all over the world are starting to wake up. You got the video, that them guys re-uploaded of camp, and then that's got like near enough 400,000 views now, right? And one of the comments there is from someone in what do you call it, in Latin America. I know I always forget, Costa Rica. Is it Costa Rica or Puerto Rico? One of them places there. And obviously you got camps around there, but you can see just how the internet can move things, right? Just all around the world. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna do? What was I gonna do? Yeah, so Esau can see that, this truth is going now. So he's saying, damn shit, I'm gonna have to speed things up, right? But when you read Job, it says that, he had set his bounds that he cannot pass. So Esau's gonna reach a point, and then he's gonna be destroyed. It says Job 20 says when he's about to fill his belly, when he's about to achieve his thing that he's pushing for, the Lord is going to, deal with him. As Ezekiel 21 and 9 says, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith Yahweh, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished, polished. It says it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter, it is furbished that it may glitter, and that's what it's going to do. But mainly with you Jakes, right? Because you Jakes are the problem, right? And, we're going to have another act of terrorism that's going to be blamed on you Jakes. Just like Nero. Nero blamed on you Jakes. Right, he created a false flag, and then he was like, well, we told you about these Jakes, we told you, you didn't want to listen, so now we're gonna have to destroy him, right? It says, should we then make mirth, it contemneth the rod of my son as every tree, and he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. And that slayer is Esau. And he's, he's the perfect man for the job. Because, you might think, alright, cool, I'll go do this, that, and the other. I'll fight back with my, I'll go to the, to the barracks and, do this, that, and the other. But Esau just has to release some biological weapons and that's you dead. Everyone forgot about Ebola. Now that's coming back. Well, really and truly, it never left. It's just quiet. That test run, it's pretty, okay, it's very efficient. It works, and now it's just going to be released out into the world. Right, but, to basically wrap up the point, we're now at a stage where you don't know who's who, and the government is going to say, look, we're going to need a new way to be able to track everyone for your own safety. Right, and we're going to have to introduce this chip. And if you ain't got this chip, man, we're just going to have to assume you're a terrorist, or you use this, and everyone has to get this chip because of X, Y, Z, which is ultimately the end goal, right? This is Revelation 13:16, says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, right? And it's basically talking about RFID microchip. Alright, hey, no matter what you do, man, don't take it, man. Don't take this piece. Don't take the chip. Don't take the mark, man. Don't worship the image of the beast. Don't submit, man. Because really and truly, right, the problem is you submitting to Esau. Right, the apostle brought it out like a few weeks ago. At camp, basically saying, if Esau tries to trick it into you, that is what it is. But the point is taking the chip. It says begging, basically saying, I want to worship you, Esau. You're the one that's going to save me. Right, because I remember it was basically talking. The apostle was basically talking about how you get some guys are like, oh, what if they pop it in some water or something like that, But yeah, Lord's will you've been notified. 100 that. Let's say Shalom.